Hi, this is Bob Kay from the AMD World Championship. We're here in Sturgis 2010, and I have with me Aaron from Glenndyne Design today. I met Aaron about a year ago, and he was coming up with some special new wheels, and today he has an entry in the freestyle class at the World Championship and just come up with a beautiful bike here. Aaron, I really appreciate you coming by and giving us some time today. Tell us a little bit about this. It is a bobber style, but it looks pretty unique in some of the features. What was your inspiration, and what were you thinking when you wanted to design this bike out?
I really wanted something that kind of had a classic, chopper bobber line, but a real technologically advanced kind of feel. We knew we wanted it to showcase our internal brake wheels, so we put those on there. I went ahead and did a few other things, really kind of radical stainless looking pipe. We really wanted extreme function and versatility, kind of as if a bike was built maybe in the future, but still kind of a throwback to a classic style of a chopper or bobber.
Well, I think it really captured that classic look, but it is futuristic when you start to look at the details. Right at the top of the game here, this tank really stands out. Totally different shape. So what went into the process of making this tank, designing it, and actually having it come out with this nice fit and mount?
Actually, I took a late model Sportster tank, stretched it at 3 or 4 inches, cut the top half off, and then just rebuilt the top half of the gas tank, reshaped the sides. I wanted something that had a real good Frisco mount, but still had a compact feel to the bike to keep that kind of hybrid cross between a bobber and a chopper. So I really dig it. I like the freestyle look on a gas tank mount anyway, and I wanted something that just barely see over the top of the bike,
Well, I think you accomplished your objective there. Now, this doesn't mean anything unless it sits on a frame that has the right proportions and configuration, and you've accomplished. So let's talk about your frame. Where did that come from? How did that get made? What did you do there?
Basically, this frame has got a real simple chopper line. It's about a 3-up, 1.5 inches back. A couple little things we did different on the chassis, but I really didn't want to go too extreme with the chassis because I wanted the bike to have that real traditional bobber chopper feel. So we kept the lines pretty simple. Did some different seat configuration stuff to get a little panhard bar on the back of the seat, which is some race car influence, and street rod stuff, which is kind of where I originated anyway. And ultimately you end up with just a nice, clean, simple, functioning frame.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this oil tank. It's not standard. It kind of has a little off-center balance to it and everything. What was the process, and what are the materials used to make that?
This oil tank is actually all stainless steel. I powder coated it to match the gas tank. We offer these also on the website. Use some cast aluminum covers that I have made just to kind of cap the oil tank off and give it a little feel that it blends in with the motor itself. And that unit was the first one that we did, and we've sold 3 or 4 of them since then off this bike. So,
well, I believe that. It really has a nice look with a little taper to the back that kind of lends to the slender profile of the bike. Of course, the heart of any bike is the engine. And what do we have here, and why did you make that choice?
Actually, I got a hold of S&S, and they had some of the leftover motors that they were doing for Indian with the round cylinder heads. It's a 92-inch S&S motor, and I actually picked up that one from them, and they're not making them anymore. Real strong, stout running motor, especially on a 390-pound bike. So it's a great, solid motor.
Well, it seems like you have a good, solid design here, and of course, when I met you about a year ago, what it was, you were getting these internal brake wheels, which is kind of breakaway from anything I've ever seen. So before we end this up, let's talk about those internal brake wheels and just what went into that whole process.
That process has taken about 6 years to get everything done, patents, all that stuff taken care of. Now we're in full production with them. We're working on different style designs. We've got them completely modular where they can be pulled apart, brake pad changes. You don't have to take the wheel apart for anything. All your normal service, balancing, everything is done just like a standard wheel. And we're working towards just cranking them out for production from high-end bikes and people that want a different alternative and have something that stops a lot better. The actual wheels themselves are made out of magnesium and aluminum to shed weight, so they're actually lighter than a standard billet wheel. Bike actually feels a lot snappier, a lot faster on acceleration due to less rotational mass. And the brakes work great. Essentially located like that, it kind of drives the braking force down to the ground plants it through the tires. Performance-wise, it's unbeatable, man. It's awesome.
Well, I was truly impressed then to actually see him mounted on a bike of this caliber and everything. I know something like this just doesn't come together overnight. How many hours or months do you have into this?
Believe it or not, I do a lot of pre-planning, writing things down, sketching things out. This bike was 3 months from drawing to completion. Now granted, the wheel endeavor itself, took the 6 years to get to that point, but the bike itself came together in 3 months.
Well, that's fantastic. That's a lot of serious dedication. The AMD show is dedicated to engineering and design. Your wheel design and the way everything floats together here is really just a fine example of what we're trying to showcase at the AMD World Championship. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule for this interview, and we hope to see you again next year.
I will be here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shelby, and you're watching the AMD World Championship of Custom Bike Building vidcast. We're sponsored in part by Flathead Power by S&S, Motorcycle Storehouse, Arlen Ness.